My name is James Blackburn. I live and work in the American Southwest. As a result, I have the good fortune to be able to travel to a variety of beautiful locations. As a professional filmmaker, I document my life through video adventures and I share them with the world. Stay tuned as I travel through the world of movies and the beautiful outdoors. Thanks for watching the James Blackburn Experience. Good howdy, folks. Welcome back to another James Blackburn Experience. Today's video adventure is a special one. This time I travel with a good friend to the Savinoso Wilderness in New Mexico. The wilderness is still very remote. Only one access road leads into the Sabinoso, San Miguel County Road 51A. This sign says no trespassing, but ignore this and go through the gate. Stop shortly after the gate to see an old log cabin. Please leave gates as you find them. At the small settlement of Trujillo, 30 miles east of Las Vegas, New Mexico, 51A leaves the Blacktop Highway. In good weather, the trailhead sits about a half hour from that intersection. In bad weather, it is recommended that you shouldn't even try it. The road is not passable when wet. Even on a nice day, the road's still rough in spots. The rugged country primarily supports pinyon pine, juniper woodlands with an occasional clusters of ponderosa pine. The Sabinoso Wilderness is a remote area in the northeastern portion of New Mexico.
Good howdy, folks. Welcome back to another James Blackburn Experience. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I am in the Sabinoso Wilderness with my good friend Dave. I'll introduce you to him on camera here in a little while. We're about 2 miles in, I believe. So there was a hike down a road to get into here. And now it's just been pretty flat ever since. And I'll say this, it's beautiful country. It's a nice day out, it's not too hot. And we've discovered a lot of water along the way. So it's always encouraging. So stay tuned and I'll show you as much as I can as we continue. See ya. All right, here's Dave. He is getting his pack back on. We just took a short break. Thanks, Dave, for bringing me out here today, man. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, folks, check out this.
Good day to enjoy.
Heck yeah. Check out this scenery. I mean, this is just some beautiful, beautiful land. A little cloudy, but it's okay. It's helping keep the temperatures down a little bit more, so while we're hiking, we're not sweating as much. Hey folks, we're about 3.5 miles in or so. Took the packs off to take a little break because we got some heavy packs because we carried in a lot of water on this trip because there's not much water here. However, I will say the first mile or two, there was plenty of pools of water. Now that we're 3.5 to 4 miles in, the water is non-existent. We have not seen any in a while. We're hoping to come across some pools of water here in a little bit. But if we don't, we have a couple gallons of water each that will get us taken care of. So I'm gonna kick back here, relax a little bit, catch my breath. Anyway, it's a very beautiful place. We saw 3 people since we got in here. 2 of them were leaving and the other one was about a mile in. And I think we're gonna have this place to ourselves tonight potentially, because those folks were hunters and I don't think they're staying the night out here. So it's gonna be awesome. This is really, really cool. So that's kind of what the trail looks like. It looks wide enough to be a road because back in the 1800s, it was a road for the military to travel through here on wagons to deliver stuff. A little history there for you. Over here we have Dave's internal frame pack. He thinks it's about 40 pounds because of carrying the extra water. Over here's my pack. Same thing, about 40 pounds because of carrying the extra water. Wearing me out today, but catching my breath. And I can't complain. I mean, look, I am in the wilderness and it's a beautiful day. Simply awesome.
We continue down the path into freedom and beauty. Thankfully, I was able to track our progress so we could see exactly how many miles we traveled each day. On this day, we ended up hiking just over 4 miles.
All right, folks, after about a little over 4 miles of hiking in, we found ourselves a really nice little camp spot. So we're gonna go over and do a quick walkthrough. What do you say? Even though I'm not that far from camp, you absolutely cannot see it at all. It's totally hidden. Take you back and take a look. Camp walkthrough video. Now, there is a little trail here, but this is mostly game trail and cattle trail. So we followed it back to this little clearing back here. Now there is a little cattle fence here, but we're okay with that. And here's camp. You can see Dave's over there getting some stuff ready. Nice little spot we found for sure. I'm really digging it so far. All right, Savinoso Wilderness does not disappoint. Got my whole entire tent set up. Almost everything is inside, ready to go. And I'll tell you what, I'm a little tired. This is gonna feel good tonight to crash out in here a little while later. We definitely have noticed that there's no shortage of firewood around here. So we'll have a nice little campfire tonight. And it's all is gonna be beautiful and awesome. All right, we've got the fire pit ready. Dave's got the saw. He's going to town on some of the logs.
And of course, what campfire experience wouldn't be complete without a little slow motion campfire?
All right, folks, fast forward to a little later in the day. We have all our shelters set up and ready to go, and nice little campfire here. So we got our stoves out and boiling water. Well, we just boiled water because we're having dehydrated meals. I'm having the chicken and dumplings with vegetables. And Dave is having, what's that one called?
Kathmandu curry.
There it is, Kathmandu curry. That sounds good too. I bet that's nice. So these are nice to bring backpacking because they're lightweight and you only need water and you can put it right in the package and just let it cook itself. So there you go. All right, folks, wanted to show you what my dinner looks like once it's been rehydrated and still steaming hot. This is really good chicken and dumplings with vegetables. And of course I added a little bacon in there as well. Can't go wrong.
I sat down with my dinner and took a big sniff. It smelled absolutely delicious. This was gonna be very filling, and I was glad I brought this for dinner. Yummy! A little while later, the sun had set and darkness had taken over the landscape. We gathered around the campfire for added warmth as the temperature started to drop. We had good conversations about past backpacking adventures and various camping meals we'd eaten. We were all tired, but felt good at the same time. What a wonderful day. Earlier in the day after we arrived at camp, we discovered some bear scat. Because of this, later on, Dave tied our food up in a tree with a bell attached as a warning device.
All right.
We could sleep better knowing our food was safe for the night. Thanks, Dave.
All right, folks, that's all she wrote for day one here in the Sabinoso Wilderness with my good friend Dave. We are having a great time. Did about 6 miles of hiking total today. As far as once we got to camp, we explored the area quite a bit, and now we're tired. So we're gonna take a break here and get a good night's sleep in our tent and rock and roll again tomorrow. So as usual, love, love, hate, hate. Take care of each other.
Good howdy, folks. Welcome back to another James Blackburn experience. Today's video adventure is a special one. This time I travel with a good friend to the Savinoso Wilderness in New Mexico. The wilderness is still very remote. Only one access road leads into the Sabinoso, San Miguel County Road 51A. The rugged country primarily supports pinyon pine, juniper woodlands with an occasional clusters of ponderosa pine. The Sabinoso Wilderness is a remote area in the northeastern portion of New Mexico. I decided it was time for me to contribute to our firewood stash. I wandered around the forest near our camp and gathered a lot of firewood. As I did this, I felt more and more connected with this amazing place. I was still alone at camp and was enjoying the wandering around finding firewood. This campsite was amazing, and I couldn't stop smiling. The weather was perfect, and so was this spot. Earlier in the day after we arrived at camp, we discovered some bear scat. Because of this, later on, Dave tied our food up in a tree with a bell attached as a warning device.
All right, Dave's got the food down. Campfire and breakfast, always a good way to start the day.
As with so many other cherished places in the state, the Sabinoso is difficult to reach, but absolutely worth the effort. A little slow motion campfire to start the day is always nice. The warmth felt great.
All right, folks, the morning continues. Had a little bit of breakfast. Now we're out gathering some firewood because it's still cold today and it's snowing a little bit. So we're making sure that we can keep our campfire going this morning, keep us warm. It's a beautiful day still, just a little bit cold and now with a little bit of snow.
It's dry in the summer and cold in the winter, and it boasts more natural beauty than you could lay eyes on in a month of backpacking.
Spring has sprung. That much is clear.
The Sabinoso Wilderness area consists of canyons and steep-sided mesas with elevations ranging from 4,500 feet to 6,000 feet in elevation. The mesa tops are grassland, while the canyon walls support a pinyon pine and juniper woodland with scattered groves of ponderosa pine. Special note: never camp in the lowest places of Canyon Largo when there's even the slightest chance of rain. You can find campsites to put up a tent above the creek, but the bottom 20 to 30 feet make for dangerous territory during the summer monsoons. The land is just as wild and rugged today as it ever was. BLM wilderness area restrictions mean that you won't hear automobiles and that no bikes are allowed on the trails, and that all camping is primitive. There are no established sites or facilities here. It's open all year, but be cautious during monsoon season, roughly the 4th of July through the middle of September. In spring and autumn, the canyon floor will feel 10 degrees warmer than the windy rim. In winter, snow never lasts for long, and the rock wall retains the sun's heat into the night. Spend a couple of nights in the canyon. You'll hear turkeys and owls echoing off the sandstone walls and frogs chirping along the Largo Creek. You probably won't hear or even see the mountain lions, but they're there. The Milky Way will be as bright as you've ever seen it. If you don't leave here a happier person, then stay another night or two. I felt like a happy camper the entire time I was there and left in a great mood, feeling completely relaxed and ready for another round of the concrete jungle back in the cities.
Can't make up its mind if it wants to snow or not. Snow for a few minutes and then stop. You can see it's nothing major. I don't think any of this is going to actually accumulate unless it starts coming down really heavy, but yeah. Quiet, peaceful afternoon, a little bit of snow, some cloudy skies, and still nothing to complain about because this is a beautiful place.
We decided on a fun day hike.
All right, folks, we are on a bit of a walkabout here. We're going to hike up the canyon a little ways further, see if we can find ourselves some water that we can filter. Having a good time, even though it's a little cold today. It's still beautiful out here. All right, folks, as we're hiking along the old Wagon Road down here, there are some ruins along the way. This looks like the first one that we've discovered. We're not sure if it belonged to a house or a corral, but there's definitely some structure that was here at some time. And it's snowing even harder now, so it's making the day that much more of a fun adventure. So this is what used to be an old wagon road for the military back in the 1800s. See if I can find some shots online for you guys to show you the historic parts of it. This is pretty cool. All right, we found an old horseshoe here laying on the ground next to an old fence post. So that's kind of neat that a little bit of the history is still here. All right, Dave found another really rough structure here, or what's left of it.
A little while later, we discovered another campsite in the forest. This was yet another really sweet spot to camp for a day or even an entire week. We explored the forest nearby, and I felt a true connection to this place once again. My wild spirit was feeling alive and curious about what's next in this awesome wilderness. My heart felt full and happy as the wilderness released the shackles of humanity, and I became one with the forest. We relaxed in the shade and had some lunch. I was having one of those moments where I felt truly thankful to be alive. The area is semi-arid, receiving 16 to 18 inches of precipitation annually. The canyon bottoms have periodically flowing streams. Vegetation such as cottonwood and willow trees is found along the streams. Wildlife includes elk, mule deer, black bear, owls, and wild turkey. As I sat there and caught my breath, I looked around in wonder and felt truly fortunate to be alive. What a great day. Backpacking is similar to life. The best rewards come from honest hard work. Sometimes the amount of work ahead of us seems overwhelming. So just think about that next step, that next section of forest, that next stream crossing. Take one step at a time, and before you know it, there you are. Remember that life is a journey, not a destination. True beauty comes from within, and life is whatever you make it.
Massive, massive cottonwood trees there. Look at that thing. Wow. That is huge, Dave. Look up this thing, folks. We're thinking this tree might have been here back in the 1800s. Maybe not this big, but it may have been here over 100 years ago. Wow, look at the size of these things. And more good news, we found water. Gonna go down and investigate it and see if we can get some of that stuff filtered.
Be prepared, plan ahead, and prepare for your visit. Let someone know of your plans and consider the weather.
All right, we have not seen water out here since we were in the first mile or two of the trail. It's been completely dry in the creek bed, so it's kind of nice to see some water here. It's pretty stagnant looking, but if we filter it, it should be okay. But yeah, what a beautiful day so far.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and here we were about 5 miles into that and loving every minute of it. I wandered back down the hillside and took my time as I was really enjoying this spot. Peaceful place with a lot of quiet where you can really get inside your head and think. My thoughts were numerous, and my mind felt like this moment right now was possibly a nice dream, or at the very least a great memory in the making. This place was putting me in a great mood, and I felt like celebrating life again. What a great day. Bring plenty of food and water, and remember, the nearest hospital, hotel, grocery store, and emergency first responders are found in Las Vegas, New Mexico, some 45 miles away. There is no cell phone service within the canyon. although I had no problem connecting with loved ones with my Garmin GPS unit. Please leave no trace of your visit so others can enjoy this beautiful place too. I enjoyed wandering through the forest like this, and I have ever since I was a kid. Nothing will keep me away from the wilderness. I was about to get all my drinking water from a natural source, and I was ready for a nice cold drink. As I continued my short hike to the water, I was feeling the beauty of this area take over my wild spirit. I felt the animal within start to awaken. This was an amazing place, and I felt incredibly thankful to be here. The rhythm of our boots on the trail was feeling unrestricted and free.
All right, folks, after about 5 miles of hiking today to find water, which we did, we are back at camp. Let the relaxing begin. It's a little bit later in the day. After our long hike today and getting water, we're back at camp now. You can see Dave back there is getting the campfire going. It's about 6 p.m., so I'm probably gonna ditch these sunglasses soon. It's gonna be dark in a few hours, and we're gonna make some dinner. So tonight, I'm gonna have a lasagna. I'll show it to you here in just a minute. All right, folks, we're not at an incredibly high elevation. I believe we're under 5,000 still. So when we get these stoves going here, this boils up water literally in a couple minutes. I mean, it's really, really fast. You can already see that it's steaming up here on the top. So I'll have my water ready here in just a little bit, and then I'll show you dinner. All right, folks, I know that you see me eating these Mountain House adventure meals quite a bit in my videos. That's because they're readily available and they're tasty. I'm not endorsing the company because they're not paying me to do that. I just happen to like it, and it's lightweight, you know, and you can just add water and you have yourself an instant meal, and you can eat right out of the pouch, so you don't even have to dirty up many dishes. So yeah, so tonight, lasagna with meat sauce, cheesy Italian style tomato sauce, and beef. That's gonna be good. All right, this is what it looks like before you rehydrate it. So the water is boiling right now. I'm gonna pour some in there and get it going. So you give this a quick stir and you reseal it for the amount of time it says on the back, and it rehydrates and becomes an awesome meal. All right, folks, after about 10 minutes of letting this food sit in the bag with boiling water, that's the end product right there, and I can't tell you how good this smells. If there was smell-o-vision, you would truly appreciate it. It smells just like lasagna, so I'm going in. Cover me.
We continued to enjoy the evening campfire together, and not just as friends, but as family. This group's got each other's backs. We prefer to lift each other up and not tear each other down. I always feel safe when I camp with these guys, and look forward to many more adventures together in the near future. As the evening came to a close, we enjoyed some nice conversation around the campfire. We'd all relax here for a while longer before getting some sleep. This had been another amazing day. This was our last night here. I was both happy and sad. However, the campfire is always cheerful and warm. We sat here for hours and really enjoyed our last evening. A little while later, we told ghost stories before eventually heading to our tents for some much needed sleep. This was yet another amazing day. Here I was having a peaceful moment and not a city anywhere nearby. This was truly amazing, and I realized it even as I relaxed by the campfire. My brain face had a smile on it, and I was a very happy camper. A little while later, the sun had set and darkness had taken over the landscape. We gathered around the campfire for added warmth as the temperature started to drop. We had good conversations about past backpacking adventures and various camping meals we'd eaten. We were all tired, but felt good at the same time. What a wonderful day.
And now we're tired. So we're gonna take a break here and get a good night's sleep in our tent and rock and roll again tomorrow. So as usual, love, love, hate, hate. Take care of each other. Good howdy, folks. Welcome back to another James Blackburn experience. It's about 7:30 in the morning on the third day here in the Savinoso Wilderness, and we woke up to a pleasant surprise, and that is these awesome blue skies. The last 2 days has been completely cloudy, so it's really nice to see this and see the sun out on the trees and the rocks. Oh man, it's going to be a beautiful day.
Good howdy, folks. Welcome back to another James Blackburn experience. Today's video adventure is a special one. This time I travel with a good friend to the Sabinoso Wilderness in New Mexico. The wilderness is still very remote. The rugged country primarily supports pinyon pine, juniper woodlands, with an occasional clusters of ponderosa pine. This campsite was amazing, and I couldn't stop smiling. The weather was perfect, and so was this spot. It was a beautiful morning, even with all the wind. The skies were clear and a very intense blue. I felt once again in tune with this beautiful and vast landscape. The early morning air felt good as we traversed the landscape together. All around us were these amazing red canyon walls. The blue skies seemed more blue than usual, and I was feeling the energy of this place like a spiritual connection. The red rocks were amazing, and I felt fortunate to be here. The landscape felt so alive and full of intense colors. It had me wishing I was an artistic painter and had supplies with me to stop and paint this beautiful desert landscape. This campsite was amazing, and I couldn't stop smiling. The weather was perfect, and so was this spot.
I tell you folks, after a couple days of camping in the clouds and the snow, such a welcome sight to see the sun. It feels really good this morning, and you can tell the forest is just coming alive. Birds are everywhere singing. Even they're happy that the sun's here. So I'm going to walk back here to camp and show it to you the first time in the 3 days I've been here where there's some sun on it. All right, look at that. What an awesome spot we had.
This was our last day here, and eventually we would get motivated to pack up our gear and start the long hike out to the trailhead. As with so many other cherished places in the state, the Sabinoso is difficult to reach, but absolutely worth the effort. All good things must come to an end, and this campsite was no exception. It was time to pack up the gear and move on to the adventures that today would undoubtedly yield. The sun rising in the sky was nice, and started to warm up the air around us. Shortly I would have all my gear packed up and ready to go. Alright folks, just took the rain fly off my tent, and it was just covered on the inside of the rain fly with ice crystals. So I got it laying out in the sun now. It got a little cold last night for sure. You got ice crystals on the inside of your rain fly. Whew. Alright, took the rain fly out here in the field because there's more sun than what I'm experiencing back here. I want to bring you over and show it to you though, because I was really surprised how much ice was on it. Not complaining, it's definitely part of the adventure. Look at those beautiful rocks and skies today. Okay, so I figure getting this out in the sunshine will defrost the ice crystals and turn it into liquid, and then eventually it'll dry up while I'm packing up my gear. As a matter of fact, it looks like most of the ice crystals have started to melt, and there's definitely just moisture now. So I'll leave it here in the sun for a while, let it get dried up, come back and get it in a little while. All right folks, fast forward to about an hour later from my last video, and we are fed with our breakfast, breaking down our gear. And out here you can see we both have our rain flies out here still because they were covered in a layer of ice on the inside, so we wanted them to defrost and dry.
think they're just about there, so I'm gonna get my rain fly and head back to camp and call it a day, at least for the packing part.
And I will say this, camping is a lot of work, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I absolutely love everything about camping and plan to continue for years to come.
All the gear is fully packed now and ready to go. Dave's over there. He's got his pack ready to go as well. And we're going to say goodbye to this excellent camp spot. Thank you, camp spot. You served us well.
So we threw on our backpacks and we were on our way.
All right, folks, this is our third day out here. We're heading out here shortly, but what a beautiful place. I gotta say thank you, Dave, for bringing me here. I couldn't have done it without you. It was awesome.
I'm glad things worked out for us. And beautiful day. We're expecting snow this morning and we got blue skies instead.
Yep. And it's nice, it's sunny, it's warm, birds are singing. Oh man, I just feel great. It's just a beautiful, beautiful day. But all right, well, stay tuned, folks. We're gonna start heading out of here, but I'll get some shots on the way out. See ya.
All right.
I felt stronger this morning and had a good rhythm going as I hiked down the trail. I could feel my hiker legs coming alive in the early morning air. On our way up, we passed many interesting rock formations. The hiking was rugged but rewarding. We continued onward as a team as the sun started to shine overhead. The hiking continued as we got closer and closer to the top. I couldn't help myself. I continued capturing video of everything. All around me was some beautiful landscape, and I wanted to take it all in while I was here. I love to capture nice moments and experiences, and then I have it documented and I can edit it down as a memory to share. This was a trip I would never forget. We continued onward into the unknown. The rock was beautiful as we felt connected to the area. I knew I was fortunate to be here, and I was not going to take any of this for granted. I wanted to take it all in. I wanted to be a part of it all. I could hear the rocks, the trees, the wind, and the sky talking to me. And they were all saying the same thing. Respect us, and you are welcome here anytime. Respect I did, and I felt truly thankful to be welcomed here. I had to stop again and take more photos. I couldn't stop smiling as I did. I was smiling so much that my face was starting to hurt. The trees here were intense and beautiful. Wow. Use extreme caution near exposed ledges, especially with children and pets. A GPS and a map along with good navigation skills are strongly recommended. This area can be extremely hot during spring, summer, and fall, so carry plenty of water and wear appropriate clothing. It is also advisable to bring some snacks with you while hiking here, and don't forget to bring a first aid kit just in case. One last thought. No amount of gear is guaranteed to make a hike 100% safe. Only good judgment and experience can help with that. So enjoy, be safe, take only photographs, and leave only footprints. It was like I was in a dream that I never wanted to wake up from. I was still on the hike, but I was in the memory of the hike at the same time. What an unusual feeling. This was an amazing place, and I felt incredibly thankful to be here. As I sat there and caught my breath, I looked around in wonder and felt truly fortunate to be alive. What a great day. More of that magical time lapse. Yay! The forest air was clean and I breathed in the mountain freshness. I was feeling the beauty of this area take over my wild spirit. I felt the animal within start to awaken.
All right, folks, This was a great 3 days out here in the Savinoso Wilderness. Absolutely loved it. We're getting close to the last mile and a half of the trail before we get back to the trailhead. Absolutely wonderful time. Truly appreciate being here. Thanks, Dave, for being my partner on this. And come on out and check it out, folks. It's a beautiful place.
We all took a nice long rest as well as had some snacks and water. Shortly we'd be ready to continue our journey back to civilization and our families. Backpacking is similar to life. The best rewards come from honest hard work. Sometimes the amount of work ahead of us seems overwhelming. So just think about that next step, that next section of forest, that next stream crossing. Take one step at a time, and before you know it, there you are. Remember that life is a journey, not a destination. True beauty comes from within, and life is whatever you make it. As we continued to rest for the last hike out, we all took in the beautiful views all around us. This had been an amazing trip. I was already planning out my next trip back here, and I hadn't even left yet. I would love to be here in late spring or early summer, but who knows? Maybe I'll be back sooner than later. We relaxed in the shade and had some lunch. Today had been a perfect day so far. Beautiful sunny blue skies. It just doesn't get any better than this. I was having one of those moments where I felt truly thankful to be alive.
We stopped here and marked this as a waypoint, as a nice little resting spot. And the next part explains why we stopped here to take a break, because this is where the going up starts. You can see it going through the trees there, but if you look over here to the left, you can see the cutaway through the side of the canyon there, and it continues to go up for a little ways. So we got about a half mile back to the parking lot, but it's all going up, so it may take a few minutes. But yeah, looking forward to it. It's still a great day.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and here we were about 5 miles into that and loving every minute of it. The rhythm of our boots on the trail was feeling unrestricted and free.
Oh man, the going up, it always gets me. I'm assuming I'm about halfway up this road, and man, it's kicking my butt. But, here's the beautiful view. So, as hard of a hike as it is, totally worth it. Here's the next up section. I know it doesn't look that steep, but boy, it feels like it is when you're wearing a fully loaded backpack. Sorry, still trying to catch my breath. Yeah.com.
After arriving on the top, I needed a moment to catch my breath and take in this magnificent view.
All right, folks, we made it back to the parking lot. I got to tell you, that last half mile was tough on me. It took me a little bit of time to get up here, but I'm here, and the parking lot's empty except for us right now. So this wilderness behind me is available to come on out and visit, and it's not crowded at all. So come out and check it out. Once again, it's the Sabinoso Wilderness in New Mexico. And we're going to sign off here, but appreciate y'all watching, and as usual, love, hate. Take care of each other.
Remember, folks, life is beautiful if you know where to look. Keep your eyes, your heart, and your mind open, and it just might lead you somewhere special. Thank you for watching the James Blackburn Experience. Be sure to check my YouTube channel for almost 900 additional video adventures.
Purple Martians.
Right, that's perfect. I love it.